What's up guys, Josh here from MobileTechVideos.com with another exclusive how-to. I want to credit Bames from XDA Developers for the initial post regarding these steps. I've just taken it a step further and simplified it and created some scripts to do half the work for you, and I'm going to show you how to do this. What we're talking about today is IMEI restoration and getting your phone back into a usable state even if your IMEI is not fully restorable. And we're going to do that using some key applications, a little bit of command line, and doing some hex editing on a bin file. Typically the way people ruin their IMEI number is they try to unlock the phone, and that accesses the nv_data.bin file, and they normally don't back up the file beforehand, which is something that you really got to do. So the steps that we're going to do today, we're going to talk about how to potentially repair it, and if you can't repair it, at least get the generic IMEI flashback to the phone to where the phone's still usable on a network. So let's go ahead and get involved with that. We've got our phone here. This is a stock phone running Darkey's ROM. Make sure it's in USB debugging mode, so click Settings button, Settings option, Applications, Development, and make sure USB debugging is checked. Ours is, and we can go back home. Once we've done that, connect the phone. Okay, set that aside. Be sure to go ahead and download the Mobile Tech Videos RAR package in the More Info section. That's how we're going to be doing this today. And we've got that right there. Double click it. We're using WinRAR free version to open this. And click the folder and drag it to your desktop for Galaxy S IMEI. And open the folder. Okay, when we open the folder, we're going to see 3 applications, a couple batch scripts, and the ADB SDK tool. The applications are BusyBox, Terminal Emulator, and TubaTools. Links to those applications can be found below for the AppBrain.com website. Be sure to buy the pro versions if you appreciate their work, and if this helps you, you gotta buy those. I mean, they literally helped you get this back up and running. So be sure to donate to them if you appreciate their work, because a lot of work goes into these applications. So anyways, we got these files. Our phone's plugged in. We're in debugging mode, and we're getting ready to go ahead and install these applications. So we're going to run my batch script, which is Mobile Tech Videos IMEI Galaxy S.batch. So double click that, and let me see if I can zoom in here for you to get a better look at that. I know it's dark. My colors I thought were cool, and then you look at it on camera and you can't see anything. But let's see here. That's probably about as good as I can get it right now. Anyways, on your screen you can see it. We've got our IMEI apps installer and EFS backup tool. So the first line is going to install the following applications for BusyBox, Terminal Emulator, and TubaTools. So press any key to start, and we'll see that BusyBox gets installed. If any of these apps are on the phone, it'll just say failed, already exists, so no worries. Press another key to proceed with Terminal Emulator. That one installed. Press another key for TubaTools Hex Editor. That one installed. And our next line is press any key to back up EFS folder structure to local PC. This is going to pull the EFS folder that houses the bin files that hold your IMEI and other valuable data on the phone. It's going to make a copy to the local SD card on your phone, as well as a copy to the folder that all these files are in on your local machine. So you'll have 2 backups. This is a very important step. So look at the phone, because you're going to get a super user prompt here. So we'll go ahead and press the next key and one more to start. And we can see everything start to run there in the background, and we're copying all of our stuff. We're pulling all those files, and we didn't get a super user prompt because we've done it on this particular phone, but you should, and say allow when you get that. So now we see we've got an EFS backup folder, and if we open it, we've got EFS and all of our files. Those have all been pulled off the phone, and this is a very valuable step. So let me go back out here. Now what I'm about to tell you, you'll need to use Root Explorer. This is your first option. This is the first way I'm going to recommend that you potentially may be able to save your IMEI without having to go with the generic. Some people claim that they have restored full IMEI without having the backups intact. I'm not sure how that happens. It's normally not supposed to happen. So if it happens to you, you just got lucky, because normally if you've borked your backups and your bins, then you're not getting it back. You're going to have to use an advanced tool normally called an SPT or an STP box, and it's kind of pricey, but thinking about buying one. I'll let you know if I do, and we'll add that as a product to the website. But anyways, we can look at these files right here. We're going to look at 4 of them in particular. We're looking at NVData bin MD5, NVData bin, and their respective NVData BAK files. So there's 2 that are standard bins and 2 that are BAKs. The BAKs are simply backups. Typically, anytime the NVData bin is changed, a backup is created. This means that before a change happened, an original backup was made of the file before you touched it. Here's your opportunity to potentially restore your damaged bin file. What you would want to do is edit them on the machine side, which is on here. You would want to blow away, and I mean delete. So you'd want to highlight both the NVData bin and NVData bin.md5s and delete them. Then you would go up here and rename NVData.bak to simply NVData.bin, and then NVData BAK MD5 to NVData.bin.md5. So basically replace the BAKs with bins. And of course I left out underscore because I didn't feel like saying it every time there, but all you would do is on the BAK files is simply replace the 3 digits BAK with BIN. And you would re-upload the EFS file to your phone, and then using Root Explorer you could move that file back to the root of your phone. So here's a phone that has Root Explorer. So if I was going to do that, I would simply go into Root Explorer. It's a lot to take in, but it's really not that hard. And after I've redid my EFS folder by deleting the original or the new ones and restoring the backups by renaming them, I'd mount the phone, put the EFS file structure on the phone, and then I would simply hold, say copy, and then I would just go back to the root, and you see how there's EFS right there. I would click paste. It's going to ask me if I want to overwrite. I say yes. And you can verify the changes in the EFS folder by looking at the dates and how new everything is. But that's how you would overwrite that. Then you should theoretically be able to reboot the phone, and bam, you would restore your IMEI. That's how it would work in principle. I've seen it happen, and it is a great way to attempt to restore something once you've ruined it. Obviously, the key step here is if you're going to mess with anything in the EFS directory, back that whole folder up, and you can use my tool to do that as well. And I've actually linked you to the XDA thread where I grabbed some of the code for the EFS pull, so we're going to credit that guy as well. Anyways, so that's one option. The other option is if you've ruined your BAKs or those didn't work for you and you still are getting a null for IMEI, obviously you won't be able to use the phone on the network. We can restore that to at least get you back on the network using the generic IMEI for Samsung devices. Now, the way we would do that is we would go onto the phone that we just added all our applications, and we want to make sure BusyBox is installed first. So obviously you would open up the BusyBox installer, and you would check that out. So we'd open this up, and it's going to look first, say allow for super user prompts. Obviously we're working with a rooted device. Check out the root video if you don't know what root is, but you should if you're trying to do all this stuff. And basically it's going to tell you, like, we found BusyBox. If it doesn't, just click install. Once it's done, we'll go to our next application, which is the hex editor. This is another important step. Say allow on any super user prompts, and from here we would want to open the file that we're going to work with. So for us, we want to open EFS and NVData.bin. Now I'm going to show you the lines that we're going to deal with. We're dealing with 3 lines in particular, and they're all listed right here. I'm linking you in the more info section to this thread. We're dealing with lines 18-8008, 18-8010, and 18-8020. So the quick way to jump to each line, obviously we're going to jump to 18-8008 first. Click the settings button. Once you've got the hex file open, say jump to address. Click in there, change over to the keyboard, and you want to omit the first 0 of any line you're moving to. So we're going to pretend the first 0 is not there. So we're going to type in 0188008. and say OK, and we're going to jump to that line. Then you can press back, and you'll notice at the top now, at the line that we want is at the very top. Typically you would want to change each value of that line to each value presented right there. And you're going to do the same exact step for the next three. So once you've changed each cell, you change a cell by clicking the cell, and then it presents you with this, and you would simply just write in the value that you need. So we need to make each line on the XDA developers thread appear in the phone for the hex file. Do that for all three lines. So once again, you jump to the new address, and you would type in 0188010. Say OK. Technically, you don't even have to do that. I forgot. They're actually all right there. 3 out of the 4 top lines are the ones you're messing with. And you would just continue to edit each line. So we're working with 8008, 8010, and 8020. Make those lines look like these lines. Now, preferably, you want to do this from a stock ROM. So I personally recommend flashing Odin back to stock before you do this. You can try it on the aftermarket ROM. You're not going to really mess anything up any worse because you've already backed up the EFS file folder with my tool. But you know, other than that, that's what you need to do. And once you've done that, you would right click in the hex editor and say save changes. So you would save the file, and from there you can save as and overwrite the original nvdata.bin file. From there, you would preferably want to use Root Explorer and go back into the phone, and you would delete any BAKs. Now don't worry, because you've already backed these up. So you would go into the EFS directory, and you would delete any of the nvdata.bak files. So basically those two, the nvdata.bak and the nvdata.bakmd5. Those are the 2 files you want to delete. Reboot the phone, see what you have. When it's all said and done, you can check your IMEI by opening the phone, pressing *#06#, and I'm not going to show you that, but you would get your IMEI number. So be sure to keep your IMEIs confidential. You don't really want to just show that to anybody, because technically if someone wants to take a known good IMEI and use it, if the cell network happens to see duplicates, they may blacklist you, and then you have a problem. So try not to share your IMEI numbers with other people. But yeah, that is how to potentially restore your IMEI, or at least restore the generic IMEI to use the phone on the network. If you don't understand this video, then you probably don't need to even watch it, because you don't have this problem. This is specifically for people that have messed up their IMEIs or have interest in learning more about EFS folder structures and how IMEIs work. Essentially, a quick rundown is for each value in the binary file, there's an entry using hex keys to create a number on the end of the string. For IMEIs, that number is then encrypted with an algorithm and decrypted on the other end by some means that I'm not aware of right now, and that's how your IMEI is produced. So one little change can completely destroy the IMEI, but now you've got a couple tools in your back pocket to maybe restore it, or at least make your phone usable. I do want to thank my good friend Chuck. I won't say last name, but he did send me his phone and allowed me to learn a lot about this process, and I'd like to dedicate this video to him. And I really want to say I appreciate the generous donation that he made, as we were able to restore functionality to the phone and get the generic IMEI loaded so he could actually use the phone for more than just a PDA. So thanks a lot, Chuck. This video goes out to you, and if you're looking to get this solved, you know, good luck with the steps, and thanks for watching the video. Check out other videos in the YouTube channel. Check out mobiletechvideos.com. We've got a new product with our USB jig dongle. It's a real professional looking solution for the resistor mod. So check that out. Check out mobiletechvideos.com. Thanks for watching, and as always, good luck.